Welcome to Barron's Roundtable, where we get behind the headlines to prepare you for the week ahead. I'm Jack Otter. Coming up, DeepSeek took the world by storm this week, taking NVIDIA and other AI-related stocks right down. We'll look at the fallout and where you should invest amid the dip. But we begin with our expert panel and 3 things investors ought to be thinking about right now. On the Barron's Roundtable, my colleagues Ben Levison, Teresa Rivas, and Jacob Sonnenschein. Ben, exciting week on the market. So we started, as mentioned, with this DeepSeek scare. NVIDIA gets hammered, the AI stocks fall. And then at the end of the week, a little last-minute tariff scare there on Friday, and investors started selling.
Yeah, I mean, it was a down week. The S&P 500 finished down 1%. But if you had told me that all this was going to happen, that the AI trade was going to blow up, that NVIDIA, which is probably the most important stock, or at least I thought it was, probably the biggest company in the S&P 500 just a week or two ago, was going to get hammered, and that we're going to have tariffs added on top of that, I would have thought the market would be down a lot more than it was. So just 1%, that's great. And it wasn't all, about NVIDIA and tariffs. In between, we had a lot of good things. We had earnings from Apple and Meta, which were great, and that helped offset a disappointment for Microsoft. But you had a lot of other sectors sort of pick things up, which is one reason the Dow actually finished up on the week, about 0.3%. But healthcare was strong, consumer staples and financials as well.
It's really starting to look like it's not a stock market; it's a market of stocks. The equal-weighted S&P 500, which is a truer gauge of the average stock in the market, really hung in there this week.
And Jerome Powell is probably very happy that his name didn't come up a lot. The Fed met, nothing happened, and that was as Wall Street expected.
Yeah, I mean, the Fed didn't cut rates, and that was exactly as Wall Street expected. No one seemed unhappy about that except for Donald Trump. He wants those rate cuts. But, the Fed is doing what it needs to. It doesn't know where inflation is going. It actually took out the line in the statement that inflation was coming down towards making progress towards its target, saying that it remains elevated. That actually freaked markets out, but Powell said, no, that doesn't mean we're going to raise rates. Don't read anything into it. And the market actually didn't react at all.
And then at the end of the week, we got some data that was pretty good on inflation.
That's right.
Not there yet, but moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, next week, we've got a lot more stuff happening, whether you're interested in inflation or earnings.
Or tariffs. I mean, this is the big thing. So we're going to have payrolls is coming. It's supposed to be 165,000 jobs, still solid, but it's not as super strong as it's been. We get earnings from Alphabet and Amazon. I'm hoping they're going to look more like Apple and Meta. And then we're also going to find out over the weekend, the market will either have a relief rally on Monday because their tariffs have been postponed, or we'll sell off because we got the tariffs.
All righty, thanks. So, Jacob, Tesla may be the only company out there that can report earnings, can miss on both the top and the bottom line, and the stock goes up.
Yeah, the quarter was really bad, but it is a company that is worth over $1 trillion. And by the way, the electric vehicle business is not expected this year to even expect to hit $100 billion. What does that tell you? It tells you that most of the value is in robo-taxis. And on the earnings call, after they missed by $1.5 billion, after they missed EPS, after average selling prices went down and revenue went down year over year, analysts were talking about almost exclusively robo-taxis because it is a huge opportunity, and it was enough for people to say, I'm going to nibble at some shares of Tesla.
And Musk said his company may become the biggest in the world. We'll see.
Sure.
Okay, at the other end of the spectrum, GM beats on top and bottom line, and investors sell.
Yeah, so GM, it's funny, the stock came into earnings really strong, up a lot for a few months. The revenue was up 10%. The company said they took market share. The earnings were better than expected. The guidance was better than expected. So for GM, for an auto business, that is actually a pretty good quarter. The issue was the company didn't, but really can't provide more color right now on the tariff situation. Wall Street wanted it. You're not going to get it. So people had to just kind of take some off and sell the stock.
And that's going to be, something to watch when Ford reports this coming week, because they haven't been strong the way GM was, and they have to deal with this tariff situation. So it's going to be something to watch.
It could actually bode well for Ford going into earnings. The stock is down with GM, and analysts are looking for a little bit of sales growth.
All right. Meanwhile, let's talk about Teresa's vacation. Welcome back from the Caribbean.
Thank you.
Is this why you're looking at travel stocks?
Definitely. Also, Royal Caribbean did report earnings. So it was a typical quarter for them. They had a great quarter. But more surprisingly, they're entering the river cruise market. That's a market that's dominated by Viking, and it skews wealthier. It seems surprising because the ships have to be smaller to traverse a river. So they're not going to be rivaling the Oceania cruises. And it also seems like they're going to be a little pricier to build. But it's still a good idea for Royal Caribbean. Over half of their passengers want to do river cruises in addition to ocean cruises. So it's sort of like Apple keeping them in the ecosystem.
And that stock has actually done better than NVIDIA over the past 12 months, even despite this recent problem. So why is this sector overall doing so well?
Well, value is important, and if the price of taking a cheap vacation is the chance that you might vomit because cruises are floating petri dishes and noroviruses there, a lot of people are going to take that bet.
I will not.
Well, that's because you don't have little kids who smear you with daycare pathogens every day. But for parents like me, they might. But the fact is, cruises just really, you can't beat them. And when you look at the price of a land-based vacation, and the nice thing about the stocks is people book these trips months in advance, so you have visibility into their earnings.
Got it. Okay, we got to go, Teresa, but in one word, yes or no, you like that Caribbean stock still?
Yes.
All right, thanks.